Hello everyone. In this video, I will be talking about ALS, or Amyotrophic Lateral Sclerosis. Although it may be better known to many as Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS is a progressive nervous system disease, which weakens your muscles and impacts on physical function. In 1869, ALS was first founded by French neurologist Jean-Martin Charcot. However, it was not until 1939 when Lou Gehrig himself, the former first baseman for the New York Yankees, brought national and international attention to the disease. This disease, which is still closely associated with his name, for it ended his illustrious baseball career. ALS affects nerve cells that are both in the brain and in the spinal cord. When the ability of the brain to control and/or use muscle movement is lost, it is due to the death of motor neurons. One interesting fact that I found was that in some cases, many patients in the later stages of the disease may even suffer total paralysis. Another well-known individual includes Stephen William Hawking, who in 1963 was diagnosed with motor neuron disease, MND, which is better known as ALS. Though he was confined to a wheelchair, he did not allow this to hinder his scientific developments. When Hawking was diagnosed, he was not expected to live more than 2 years. However, he managed to live nearly half a century after his diagnosis with such disease. Stephen Hawking is one of the most famous and arguably one of the most recognizable people in the world. He was an English theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and author who was director of research at the Center of Theoretical Cosmology at the University of Cambridge at the time of his death. ALS, still with no cure, is a progressive disease, which means it worsens with time. Over time, muscles under voluntary control are affected, and individuals lose strength, the ability to speak, eat, move, and even breathe. Most patients usually die due to respiratory failure within 3 to 5 years of the first symptoms. In order to allow those of you who are watching the opportunity to paint a mental picture of what it's like to have ALS, I decided to include eating as an everyday act. It goes without mention that ALS can affect patients in different ways since we are all unique. However, one similarity that we all share is the need to eat. Though we may not all eat in the same manner, it should be interesting to picture the struggles and the real-life threats that ALS patients usually go through when eating. Firstly, some combinations can include difficulty chewing and swallowing, where the muscles in the throat and the mouth weaken. Additionally, the weakening muscles of hands, arms, shoulders can also cause a variety of issues. This lack of muscle control can cause issues by preparing food, using eating utensils, and even simply attempting to eat the food. Furthermore, since many ALS patients struggle eating, it goes without mention that usually ALS patients struggle to maintain a full and healthy diet. Not maintaining a healthy diet can lead to excess weight loss, further fatigue, and weakening of the muscles. Dysphagia. It is the difficulty or the discomfort when swallowing, and it is also a critical problem for those patients who suffer with ALS. Dysphagia is said to occur in 85% of those patients who suffer from ALS. Additionally, these patients also suffer from dehydration, malnutrition, and even aspiration, which, considering their situations, can lead to pneumonia or even death in worst-case scenarios. For safe swallowing, it is necessary to have sufficient strength in those pharyngeal muscles. This group of muscles contract, therefore pushing the food into the esophagus. Additionally, it is also necessary to have proper oral sensory function and the precise coordination of the neuromuscular events occurring while eating. Raising awareness. In August of 2014, a challenge known as the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge came about. This was due to a viral video. This viral video eventually reached ALS patient and former Boston College baseball captain Pete Freights. This led to the involvement of Freights networks, whom taking action evolved the challenge to include donations towards ALS research. This ALS Ice Bucket Challenge not only rose awareness for the ALS disease, but it also increased the numbers of Google searches, those of which included terms like ALS, Ice Bucket Challenge, or MND, which stands for motor neuron disease. With this increased awareness, the ALS Association decided to relaunch the Ice Bucket Challenge for the following August. The group also said that they intend to rerun this campaign this August and every August until there is a cure for ALS.